Today we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Banana Republic. It's been a while, but a lot of people tend to like this one, so I figured, hand it over to the scientists. Let's get it into it, break it down, and see if you guys need to have it in your collection. Strap up. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. Today from the House of Banana Republic, we have Dark Cherry and Amber. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. A select few of you every now and again creep in my comments on my Banana Republic videos, which are from quite a while ago now, and tell me that you really enjoy Dark Cherry and Amber. I'm not sure why, but we're going to break it down today, give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to be prejudgmental to it. I've put my nose to it many times, but I'm going to smell it today as if it were my first time and give you guys a breakdown since we haven't done an official Scent Bubble review. As the name suggests, I anticipate Dark Cherry and Amber at the very least. To be honest, in my experience with this fragrance, nothing really changes between a test strip and dry down. A fragrance in most cases will warm up, and sometimes that can change the DNA, but normally when I'm looking for a transition in a fragrance, I'm trying to just make sure that the nuts and bolts of what you get in the initial opening is what the fragrance settles down to, because many don't. This fragrance is pretty linear, and it feels the same on the test strip as on skin, with the slight caveat that it's a bit warm. Off the bat in the air, guys, this feels very much Bath & Body Works. Some of the fragrances from Banana Republic feel more like fragrances, and some feel like body mists. This one feels like a rich, slightly synthetic body mist. I don't really get the sense of... Dark Cherry is kind of subjective in terms of like the phrasing of a statement like that. It doesn't feel subdued or anything. It's actually quite bright, quite loud, quite projective, a little bit synthetic, not the most photoreal cherry, but it's not the worst cherry I've ever smelled either. Dark maybe only in the sense that it's maybe a little bit seductive. The cherry feels a little bit romantic a bit, but not necessarily like dark. I could see why they say that, but the fragrance is quite projective and bright to me still in the cherry rendering. This is fresh cut cherry, open, you see the flesh of the cherry, and you're just wafting in it with a slight bit of synthetic. It feels like it has some floral caveat, maybe some rose or some type of floral element that's accentuating that cherry, which is why it feels a bit synthetic or less photoreal, just due to some sort of floral influence. But yeah, it just feels like a Bath and Body Works lotion or body spray that's pretty pungent and dense. Not a lot of dimensionality to this. It's fresh, it's light. It almost even feels like a shampoo for women in some regards. And yeah, that's my initial impressions on the opening. Let's take a look at this window real quick so we can see if there's anything else to investigate as far as the composition is concerned. This fragrance was made in 2019. Top notes, sour cherry. Doesn't really feel too sour to me. Pink freesia, floral, cherry blossom. I get that quite a bit. Praline, none to really speak of. I feel like it drying down into a warm red amber here, which is in the base, is kind of what might be tinged a little bit by praline, but you don't get a distinct praline note at all. It doesn't feel gourmand in that sense on that side of the fence, on the cherry side for sure. And cedar, I think, is just ramping up the savory sweet element of the cherry, but in a nutshell, this is cherry, cherry blossom, amber, straight up and down. Like 95% and then maybe 5% the rest of the stuff, but you can't even make it out distinctly. This is a cherry fragrance, cherry and amber fragrance. It's well titled, and as the title suggests, that's what you get. I have a 50 ml that ran me about $15 in like a Burlington or something like that. And again, I think as a fragrance, guys, I'm calling it a 6 or a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for people who like cherry. um, Again, I don't think this is a very masculine fragrance. Is it unisex? I got to assume that it is. Yep, for men and women. Yeah, this leans very feminine just due to the Bath and Body Works kind of reminiscence of this fragrance. Um, on a woman, even, I don't even think women should really rock this. This feels like a younger girl type of fragrance, like 20 and down, and out of the shower, kind of, you want to smell good, you run out. It's like a body mist type of thing. But men, I don't think should wear this fragrance really, because it's just cherry. And if you like cherry that much, you should invest in Cherry Smoke or the other cherry fragrance from Tom Ford, or there's even some other clones that mimic this kind of DNA. And there's some niche that definitely go in the cherry direction. You've got some stuff from Mind Games, Clive Christian. I mean, I could just go down the list. One thing I will say about this fragrance before I go into the usual suspects of the wearing experience is just that this is a half decent combo fragrance. In fact, when I make my Combo 101 ebook, it will use dark cherry and amber on a number of occasions, like on 2 or 3 different combos. And honestly, from a combo standpoint, I'm oftentimes contrasting it with more masculine notes to kind of make it more truly unisex. I haven't found a way to really make it hyper masculine outside of adding kind of like oud, Indian spices and Oriental type stuff to it to kind of be like a 2-to-1 ratio, where this is just kind of splashed amongst some smoky incense and tobacco as kind of like an accent. And in that case, I can get a fairly masculine fragrance, or at best a unisex masculine leaning fragrance. So if you're on a budget and you need a good layering fragrance, this could be half decent, especially at its price point. But I think as a standalone fragrance, it's a body mist at best for women. The wearing experience, nonetheless. Any season, any reason with a fragrance like this, though I think it shines in colder climates. Men, I don't really think it's a masculine fragrance at all, or a unisex fragrance that men can wear. It just feels cheap. And for that, imagining a younger guy wearing it, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Women 20 and down at best. Sprays on this, it is quite a performer. I think 4 to 6 sprays could easily get you at the 6-hour mark, and anything north of 8 could easily get you 8 hours plus. It's very projective. The projection on here is probably like 4 to 5 feet. Sillage maybe only like 3 feet, but the longevity is very nice on a fragrance like this. We did sprays, genders, seasons. I don't really think there's anything else to speak of on this fragrance. Again, in the Banana Republic lineup, fragrances that are very fruit forward like this just don't really get a lot of play. In fact, that's why I started transitioning to using it as a combo fragrance, because that's the only realistic way that I see myself wearing a cherry fragrance, is if cherry is a secondary background note to a whole lot of masculinity up front. And the combos I found most successful at this point is things like incense, tobacco, smoke, spices, things like that, just to really give it some contrast. Again, this is Banana Republic's Dark Cherry and Amber. I know some people that follow this channel where this is like in their top 3 of Banana Republic fragrances, but for me, it's on the bottom 10, if that. But nonetheless, I think for cherry lovers, it's average at best. It's slightly synthetic, but it's a decent cherry. It's got some mixing and combo utility. But again, it is a feminine leaning fragrance that claims to be unisex. With that being said, let me know if you guys have tried this fragrance. Like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. We drop episodes every single day in a whole bunch of different categories in terms of the conversation of fragrance. And let me know if there's anything else I can answer for you guys. This was the Scent Bubble. Hope you guys have a blessed week. And until next time, peace.